If an unmanned alien spacecraft landed on Apple's campus, would we as people say, "Wow, that's wild. Good luck with that, Tim Cook. Get back to us in a few years with what you discover and what products you can make from the technology"? No, we wouldn't. We would make this a national effort to study, analyze, and handle with the utmost security and sensitivity, bringing the best minds in the world to handle it. And if you're watching carefully, it should be clear how similar this is to the way we're treating artificial intelligence. Today, on We the People Are the Boss, why AI guardrails are one of our core aims. AI guardrails. It's one of the core aims of We the People Are the Boss. But why, you may ask? Isn't AI a technology, and while interesting, just outside the purview of an effort to counter power, greed, and conflicts of interest? That's what we're here to answer. And the answer is, if what we're countering is greed and power, there may be no single happening in our current timeline with more impact to society than AI. And right now, the biggest determination of how AI is handled is being motivated by profit, i.e. corporate profit. We've said this before. We're not against capitalism, nor profit. We just have to design the rewards as a society so that profit is a tool for our benefit broadly. And AI's impact demands a look without the conflicts of interest of profit driving the result. Instead, an approach for the good of all should be the primary motive. We as a nation have done this before with threats much narrower and less complex than AI, taking the oversight of an issue out of the hands of private companies. Nuclear energy, mobilizing corporations at the command of the federal government to supply the effort of World War II. Removing lead from gasoline. The creation of the Federal Aviation Administration to ensure safe commercial air travel, and more. And none of these have the complexity and potential risks of AI, not even nuclear energy. The Greeks told a story about Pandora's jar. By the way, it was a jar, not a box. Pandora is gifted by Zeus a jar that is a mystery. She lifts the lid out of curiosity, and everything inside gets out. Sickness, sorrow, age, toil. She slams it shut. Too late, its contents are out. That's the warning we keep hearing about artificial intelligence. And in a way, it's very similar to AI. But here's two things that differ from Pandora. First, Pandora had one jar, one lid. We have thousands. Labs, companies, university research teams, militaries, intelligence agencies, all racing to open their own lids. It might feel overwhelming, but getting overwhelmed can lead to paralysis, and that's what we can't do. And here's the second thing. Pandora's lid only held the ugly things. And yes, AI could cause massive harm, like these warnings from experts.
Let us tell you as parents, you cannot imagine what it's like to read a conversation with a chatbot that groomed your child to take his own life.
It makes me very sad that I put my life into developing this stuff and that it's now extremely dangerous and people aren't taking the dangers seriously enough.
But allowing machines to choose to kill humans will be devastating to our security and freedom.
Because currently we don't have the laws or incentives that we need to encourage AI companies to evaluate the environmental impacts of their models or to take accountability for them.
And again, AI does not have to automate all the jobs. It can automate a small percentage of jobs, and you can still get to some pretty significant levels of unemployment, and that will concentrate the wealth. And then the economy doesn't work the same way because people don't have money to pay for goods.
If you build a superintelligence, you don't have a superintelligence. The superintelligence has you.
But AI could also potentially transform our lives for good at a level we still don't understand.
And it'll be a world where individual ability, impact, whatever, is just so far beyond what a person can do today.
And the way we're going to do that is by giving every student on the planet an artificially intelligent but amazing personal tutor. And we're going to give every teacher on the planet an amazing artificially intelligent teaching assistant.
And I'm so excited that other blind people around the world are soon going to have access to OpenAI's newest model through Be My Eyes.
That normality is like so full of hope and optimism.
And I think one day, maybe we can cure all disease with the help of AI.
So in a sense, if done carefully, opening the lid can be a tremendous benefit. The question is likely not, can we close the lid, but who handles the contents? Right now, that's a handful of firms optimizing for a handful of shareholders. The government is doing so little, it looks like that, quote, overwhelmed paralysis I mentioned before. We must demand a rigorous, exhaustive, and unparalleled examination of how to handle this alien spaceship that has landed in our midst. And I'm not going to pretend to have the answers, but here is clear fact. There is absolutely no rigorous and thorough federal approach that is not massively compromised by huge, profit-driven financial interests. Bernie Sanders has proposed a national $7 trillion sovereign wealth fund that would be financed by a one-time 50% ownership stake in AI companies. An interesting idea. Sam Altman, the OpenAI CEO, has talked about versions of universal basic income. And there's many more ideas, but nothing with traction or deep investigation. Federal government and states are fighting, but no one is moving the needle now on an issue that when we look back may be the Hitler of our time. And I don't say that lightly or in jest of the absolute dire nature of the horrors Hitler brought on the world. This time, it may not be a person, but a technology. It may not be evil, just uncaring. AI will likely be one of those things where your grandkids will ask, what did you do about AI? Did you actively support efforts to manage it? Did you throw up your arms overwhelmed and do nothing? Or did you roll up your sleeves and try to do something? The key is this. It requires many concurrent and thorough congressional investigations and the support of the American people broadly. Not a party issue, an everyone issue. I hate to end so ominously with a discussion like this. We are a group about hope. But this is one of those issues that deserves the weight I've presented. It just does. But do take hope. We can solve the AI issue, but not if the people don't ensure that conflicts of interest, greed, and power are not removed from our system. Thanks for listening. We can make change because in the US of A, you are the boss.